Hello everyone, this is my mom, and I asked her to tell some miracle stories that have happened in her life. And when I asked her that, she's like, well, I don't have any. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have any? So I reminded her of a few wonderful stories, and so I'm hoping she'll tell the story of the 2 quarters.
Okay, I'll tell the story of the 2 quarters. My husband had decided to go to seminary. And while we were there, when we got there, we didn't have any money. We had moved our trailer there. We joined a church. They found out that he wanted to be working in in the ministry. And we were in church, and he was at one side of the church and I was at the other, sitting there. I'd made a friend or two. And they said that they were going to have an offering for people that needed help and for the food ministry. And so I said, well, let me see what I've got. And I reached in my pocket and I had a quarter. That's all I had for me between now and whenever God decided to bless us. We didn't have milk for my little 10-month-old. Didn't know where it was going to come from. What can I do with a quarter? So I put the quarter in the plate. My friend said, no, don't do that. But I did it anyway, because what can I do with a quarter? Well, you'd be surprised what God can do with a quarter. What I didn't know was that on the other side of the church, my sweet husband Bradley, had put his hand in his pocket and come up with another quarter. What can God do with it? What can I do with a quarter? He put it in the plate. We went home that afternoon.
Now, when you were driving home, you told me before that as you were driving home, you figured that he had a quarter so you could at least buy an apple to have something to eat.
No.
No? Okay.
I don't remember that part.
All right. Anyway, I think that's what happened because she told me that a few years ago. But anyway, keep going.
Sometimes I forget. Anyway, so we got home and did what you usually do on Sunday afternoon, which is take a nap. A wonderful nap. And we're sleeping there, and there was a knock on the door. I went to the door, and there was my friend. And another friend with her. In fact, 2 other friends with her. And big bags of groceries. There was milk, there was meat, there was everything and bread, everything we could possibly need for the next 2 or 3 weeks. What a blessing they were. So what can God do with a quarter? Well, you'd be surprised. You got to try it.
Thank you for that wonderful story about the widow's mite. And you literally didn't have any money for that week.
No.
Other than the 2 quarters. And so you were looking at the fact that you weren't going to eat.
Well, we had canned goods.
Yeah, but you can't feed canned goods to a baby.
No, not to a baby. And God knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And I trusted.
It's wonderful. Such a wonderful story. So what can God do with the little bit that you have? Maybe you have a quarter, or maybe you have a little bit more. And all you have to do is have faith in God, because he does. He comes through for us. He really does. All right. See you guys later.